There is a great mystery surrounding the story and the images. Sometimes these images give us a glimpse into those forgotten worlds. Even though these enigmatic events happened a long time ago, the photographers have helped us keep the details intact. Some of these events will definitely get you excited, while others will send chills down your spine. However, it is intriguing to rediscover these bold moments. Join us as we review photos that will change your vision of the past. Plane under the Eiffel Tower in 1944. Two intrepid pilots, Pilot Officer Bob Berman and Navigator Flight Sergeant Bill Bryan, met a photographer and a reporter in a Parisian bar after a few drinks. The idea came up to fly his plane under the Eiffel Tower to capture an epic image. The next morning, they accomplished this feat, although they narrowly avoided hitting the Trocadero Hotel. The photographer managed to capture this beautiful moment. The pilots decided to remain anonymous due to their concerns about the consequences. But eventually their squadron found out the truth. Traffic officer in Philadelphia in 1922. Instead of electric traffic lights, devices controlled by traffic officers were used on the streets. This clever solution helped prevent vehicle collisions and ensured the safety of pedestrians. It represents an extremely interesting historical episode. Soldier sharing his food. A German World War II soldier, surrounded by destruction, chose to share his meager rations with a Russian woman and her child. This moment of kindness in the midst of chaos and conflict was immortalized in a photograph. What was surprising was that nationality had no relevance at that time. This simple act of compassion reflects the universal desire for humanity and survival. Costumes on horseback and Halloween celebrations. Halloween festivities in the 1920s were markedly different. There were costumed performers riding horses, adding a mysterious touch to the occasion. Some even dressed up as skeletons, creating a festive atmosphere instead of terrifying people. These nocturnal riders were a unique and memorable spectacle. Athletes passing cigarettes in the Roaring Twenties. An image from the Tour de France, a famous cycling race, shows an unusual setting. The athletes traded cigarettes as they cycled across the field. It is surprising how the perception of health varied at that time. Boxing between sailors on the USS Oregon. Amid the steel giants of war, an unexpected boxing match broke out on the deck of the USS Oregon battleship in 1897. Sailors were mesmerized by this exciting spectacle, a respite from their grim military duties. Human-drawn tractor. Around 1880 in Europe, a human-powered tractor existed. It was a brilliant combination of strength and ingenuity, where workers used their energy to move heavy stones and transform the landscape. This incredible invention connected traditional labor with modern efficiency, leaving a lasting impact on British engineering and agricultural history. Money used as toys. During the 1922 hyperinflation in Germany, where the currency lost its value, German children turned worthless banknotes into toys, using them as building blocks. This image exemplifies the profound impact of hyperinflation on their daily lives. The old Tesla electric car. In 1898, a luxurious electric car was made for Grand Duke Alexei Alexandrovich Romanov. This elegant marvel captured the essence of progress at the dawn of the automotive age. Woman at Niagara Falls. In a daring feat on October 24, 1901, a brave woman defied gravity at Niagara Falls, descending in a barrel. This personal adventure was etched in the history of Niagara Falls. Christmas package for deceased soldiers. On Christmas 1944 in New York City, packages full of gifts were found for soldiers who had lost their lives or were missing in action. These packages, meant to bring joy, had a bittersweet meaning due to the sacrifices made during the war. 9 monarchs. In 1910, during King Edward VI's funeral in London, 9 sitting monarchs gathered for this special occasion and were captured in a photograph. This historical moment is possibly the only image that shows the 9 kings of that time together. Legendary fishing. In 1960, the iconic revolutionaries, Che Guevara and Fidel Castro, decided to take a break from politics and head to the beautiful countryside of Cuba for a fishing trip. As they cast their hooks into the shimmering waters, they strengthened their camaraderie and shared their passion for fishing. This fishing trip became a powerful metaphor for their special bonds. It's a surprising and interesting aspect of these historical figures that we don't hear about often. 4 horsemen in the street. On November 4, 1973, 4 horsemen rode through the bustling streets of Amsterdam. This occurred on a car-free day in response to the Middle East oil crisis. Europe was facing fuel shortages, so they took creative steps to conserve resources, such as banning motor vehicle use on Sundays. Against this backdrop, the 4 horsemen embraced a bygone era, providing everyone with a nostalgic reminder of what scrolling used to be like. Einstein deriving an equation. In December 1934, the famous scientist Albert Einstein visited Pittsburgh to give a lecture at the Carnegie Institute of Technology, now known as Carnegie Mellon University. It was a brief visit, but during it the only known photo of Einstein with a version of his relativity equation was taken. The photo was taken from the balcony of the Little Theater, now called CMU's Kresge Theater. It gives us a glimpse of a legendary moment in the history of science, and this photo is a real treasure. Freddie Mercury with his mother. Freddie Mercury, whose real name was Farrokh Balsara, was a legendary British singer-songwriter and frontman for the rock band Queen. Here he poses with his mother, Jabal Sara, when he was almost a year old. Mercury's powerful and distinctive voice, along with his extravagant stage presence and his incredible vocal range, made him one of the most iconic and influential performers in rock music history. However, his life was cut short when he passed away on November 24, 1991 at age 45 due to AIDS-related complications. Elvis Presley in the Army. Before becoming the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley enlisted in the Army to serve his country. Although the entire world knew him as this charismatic performer, his time in the military really had a huge impact on him. He instilled in him discipline and humility that shaped him not only as an artist, but also as a person. His extraordinary journey from music to the military made him the legend we all know and love today. Female gorilla cradling a child. This amazing incident occurred in 1996 at an Illinois zoo. A 3-year-old boy accidentally fell nearly 20 feet into a gorilla enclosure, but 8-year-old female gorilla named Binti Joa came to the rescue. She made headlines around the world when she cradled the child and carried him to safety. It was truly a heroic and moving moment. The little boy had gotten away from his mother and climbed over a barrier, and the gorilla saved him. This reminds us of compassion and protection in the animal kingdom.